Hi, Stamping Staycationers. It's Marilyn here with you now. I'm the third presenter here to share a project with you. So I will just wait a few minutes for people to come on and see that I'm in the right place and everything, and then we will turn you down to the desk to get you started. So my choice is one of the, of course, one of the new sets out of the J2J 2021 catalog, and it's more the masculine one. So while I am getting set up and everything, I would like you to share with me something that, let me think for a minute. When is the best time of day for you to do your stamping? Do you like to do morning, afternoon, evening, all day, late at night? Just share that with us, and I will switch the camera down and get started at my desk. So bear with me. Try not to make you dizzy. And see, that looks like you can see what I'm going to work with. So hi, see some of you coming on. Thank you. I will read what I can, but I certainly don't expect that I'm going to be able to comment to everybody, and I know that Lillian and Joanne are there to answer your questions, and I will go over them afterwards for sure. So to start with, I'll show you, this is the catalog page of the set that I am going to demo for you today. There are some amazing sets, samples that you'll find on Pinterest, on various websites, and of course on the different groups in Facebook. I'm forever saving them, and I have lots more that I want to try, and lots that some of you have shared with me, so I appreciate that. So the stamp set comes as a suite if you want to get everything, which I did. If you've listened to our event from last night, our recording, or if you were there, you know that all of us come from some kind of farming background. So when I saw this, of course, with the checkered paper that is one of the designs that comes with it, to me it spoke farm, dress-up shirt with a collar like that my dad used to wear. And also what I'm going to do with it is kind of a t-shirt underneath it. So it comes with a stamp set which has ties, bow ties, great greetings for Father's Day, birthday, thank you, world's greatest dad, you're the best. And this one to me is more of a feminine looking one, so there are some great samples out there as well, done with that being in pinks and purples and that kind of thing. Also comes with a stamp set, you saw the stamp set, with a die cut. And I have cut it out here. There is a jacket front, a jacket V, the tie, the suspenders, a pocket, collar, the bows, and I've seen cute bow ties done as part of the ice cream set with making Mickey and Minnie Mouse. The cutest little buttons, and I'll show you what I did with those, that was really easy, and the suspender buckles. Also in the set is the designer paper. So you have, of course, front and back of each of them. This one and this are more suit kind of patterns in my world. The paisley and this flowered one do well for ties. One of the cards Lillian showed, and I do have it here as well, did a tie with that. But like I said, this one and this one, I know my hubby, who also came from a farm, as well as my dad and my brothers, would definitely wear those kind of things. So great designer paper, and I am going to use some of that to share with you today. And it also comes with this package of twine. So you have the gray and the navy there. Haven't used that yet, but will eventually. So let's get on to making a card. I have designed this card for you. So it has suspenders, it has the designer paper, it has these little tiny buttons. Aren't they just the cutest? the collar, and then for matching I did put a strip of the designer paper and just my stamp on the inside. I send lots of birthday cards, so whenever I pick up a card, usually I'm thinking birthday, and then if I can use it for something else, that's great. So like I said, the stamp set does have Father's Day, thank you, you're the best. So there are a lot of other choices that you can do there. So I'll leave that. So for starters, when I do my kits for class or for myself, I like to do everything and put it in an envelope. So, and shake out the envelope, make sure I've got it all. So I have my Pacific Point card base. That is 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. So I'm going to fold that, and it will be a card that stands up this way. I find that if I fold it on my piercing mat, it tends to stay closed a little bit better. And of course, folding on this side, or on this way, is against the grain of the paper, so it takes a little bit more effort to get it to to stay folded. I have cut my designer paper, and I did not leave much of a border because I wanted the paper to be the one that stood out. So again, like with Lillian and Joanne, dimensions will all be in the tutorial that you'll get shortly after this video. So I'm not going to even try to remember that. I have flipped my designer paper, or my grid paper over, so I can't even measure it and tell you what they are. So you'll get it shortly. So I have cut the V, and something I wanted to show you with that die, and I don't have these on a magnetic sheet yet, so they're kind of flopping all over here. But this particular die, when you cut with it, it does not cut. I need my, try it with this to see if it'll show up better. It does not cut right up to the end. So be careful when you are using it. If you want it cut to the end, I mean, this is what I did with it, obviously, but if you're cutting like for a jacket or whatever and you want it cut right to the end, if you put it down here, it's not going to cut to the end, and you will have to use paper snips, or you can just line it up just that little bit over with that. So that's what I did with that. This is my piece for the inside that I will stamp before I put in, because I am notorious for stamping crooked. So I always, anyone that's watched my videos or taken a class knows that I do my stamping first. This piece of designer paper I'm going to attach on the bottom. When you cut out the collar, it is very thin here, so be careful with it. But in this case, as you can see on the sample, I did cut it in half and put it on either side. I have my suspenders, which have the cutest stitching down the side of them. And if you don't have the die set yet, you could certainly just cut strips of paper, those widths for that. I have cut out of foil my buckles. And again, not that my dad wore suspenders very much, but my grandpa sure did. So brings back a lot of memories. For this card, my sample that you'll see in the tutorial, I just used a straight piece of the gray behind here. Then as I was looking at it, I thought, you know what? I know, especially in winters like this, the guys would wear a t-shirt underneath, so I'm going to cut a neckline. So that's what I'm going to use on this particular one. And again, like Joanne mentioned earlier, she keeps some of her punches. I still have a punch that will cut that shape. And I just took this and measured, okay, my punch fits there. That's what I'm going to use. So that's the one I'm going to use on this one today. So let's get started with, I think as we go, I'm going to do my stamping. Put my dies away so I don't knock them on the floor. And I've gotten a habit of stamping on my piercing mat, no matter what kind of stamp I'm using. Then I don't forget if I'm using the photopolymer. And I've discovered that if I have a stamp that I'm not sure if I've got the label on straight, if it's straight, if I put it diagonally in my block, on my block, instead of this way, my eye is going to follow the stamp, not the block, when I do the stamping. Let's see if it works. I have my Pacific Point ink, and I'm going to stamp my happy birthday. I don't think it matters if you stamp first or put this on first, but either way would work. And as with all our designer paper, you have two sides, so you could pick and choose whatever side you wanted to have showing. And again, even though I cut, you know, I do my measuring and I cut my 4 inches or whatever it is, quite often they don't match. Usually they're not over by that much, but I like to put them together on my silicone mat so that the glue doesn't end up on my work surface. So there's my piece for the inside, and the rest of it is just a matter of gluing it together. So I'm going to glue the black t-shirt behind the V-neck. And like I said, for this cold weather that we're having in Alberta, I'm sure that the guys would be adding a t-shirt like this. Well, that was really smart, wasn't it? Great to have the silicone mat. I can turn it over and lay it on there, and it's not going to go anywhere, but I shouldn't have put my glue up that high because it showed through the V. And hopefully that one does. Oh, that one does too. Look at that. It will dry, and look at that. Can't see it. Okay, so don't use silicone mat for the rest because, or for right now, because it has glue on it. So, like I was saying, I'm sure that you'll find guys and sometimes gals wearing turtlenecks or t-shirts like that under their regular shirts, because we are having 20 below weather here right now, 20 below Celsius. I have two brothers who are currently on a sailboat on their way from Mexico to Hawaii, and they keep bragging about what great weather they're having, of course. But as much as I'd like the nice weather, I'm glad to be at home. So, quick and easy that way. The inside layer can go on. And I do have some various samples. Now you might be thinking this is just a masculine set. Well, I have one made that is for a lady. I've seen lots of others, and I have one that I'm going to make for a special consignment. A gal has asked me to do a birthday card for her mom's 85th birthday, and it's going to be with this set, but with even more lace than what you'll see shortly. So then I put on my suspenders, and I guess I maybe should have put them on before I put the shirt on, because I may have to trim them too, but we'll see. Again, like the others, using a lot of liquid glue nowadays as opposed to, oh yeah, should have trimmed it. It's okay, I will do that. The liquid glue allows you to do a little bit of maneuvering, and on this paper it's great to have the plaid to line up everything too. And because our paper snips are just pretty awesome, look at that. I can trim that after I've got it on there. The other thing I recommend and I like doing is the burnishing. Once I've got it together, I turn it over and it you don't have your hands on the surface of it then. So then for my collar, I didn't want it right there. I wanted to, which way did I do it? I did it the other way. I did it this way. Line it up, so I'm going to snip it in half. And again, with my liquid glue, because I'm going to be maneuvering it, and place it along the neckline and at the top. See if I get this one going the same way would be a good thing. And then we have all the cute little embellishments to go on it. So these little guys, of course, just wherever you think back to, say, tell me about the good old days, Grandpa, and place them at the bottom. Then these, and these are cut. The dies come with 2 of these because you always need 2 of them, and I think you'd need 2 of these as well, but for those. Then for the buttons, the first card I made, I cut the buttons out. You see which container. This is, I use these containers left over for storing little pieces like this. So I have quite a few white buttons because you get 6 each time you cut the die. And some of them, like our rule of 3, I would use maybe only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. Okay, so I have some little white ones left in there. Then I discovered, actually I was watching somebody's video, and I'm sorry I can't remember whose it was, that she used, this one I have the gray and the pink from what I did, but what she did and was used our adhesive sheet on the back. Then when they're cut out, they come with adhesive on them, and all you have to do is peel it off and put it on. Much, much better idea because my fingers get sticky if I'm using my liquid glue. And this way, it's just a matter of using my piercing tool and peeling the back off. I discovered in my stash, because I don't throw much away, I had these layers that I had done, obviously at Christmas time with Peace, and it still has the adhesive on here. So I just had to lay my die in there, and I could cut many more. Also, with the Take Your Pick tool, we have the putty end, and you know what, mine might be empty. Oh, I can get a little bit more. So I'm going to take, well, that's not going to work anyway because I want to peel it off. I do have adhesive on the back of these gray ones, and if I use my Take Your Pick tool properly without poking my finger, oh, of course, when you're on camera, trust me when I say it does come apart there. So it does peel off like that. Then, whoa, now I got lots of adhesive stuck out there. I can stick it to my fingernail, well, maybe. Or I'm just going to place it on my way down the shirt. So yes, a little bit fiddly if you have issues with things like this, but I think that the adhesive on the back like this is so much better than working with liquid glue at this point. Aren't those just the cutest little buttons? I can see using them for decorations elsewhere. This also works if I put my adhesive part on my tool afterwards and use it to place them. Okay. Quit giving me grief there. So do you, can you see a use for the masculine set happening? Like I say, I've got so many more samples that I do want to try, besides the ones I'm going to show you when I'm finished this here. Okay. So don't give up with your peeling the back off. It does work. And like I say, I found it so much easier than trying to use the liquid glue. And there are my buttons. So that is my card. And now I just want to show you an alternative that I did. The stamp set comes with the stamp for the ties. So I did one with the blues and the grays, and then I colored them with the blends, and not blending, I just colored with them. So I'm really new to using the blends and shading with them. So I just colored, and I think they look great. I did just a little bit of words on the inside. That design was by Coastal Crafter. Like Lily and I do some notes once in a while. And then I thought, you know what, if you don't have that set, maybe you have this one. Maybe you're looking for something for a little person, which I have a few of those in my life, and I like to send cards to them. So I took the dinosaur, this one and this one, and I kind of went around similar to the ties. Okay, I'm going to put it this way, this way, this way, and use the stamps from that set and made a birthday card for a little person. And again, I tend to run out of those as much as I run out of my masculine ones, so I'll be making a few more of those. So that was my alternative for you. Plus, I have some more of the cards made with the well-dressed set. So I have this one is more traditional suit with the tie, with the little handkerchief in the pocket. And I used a Father's Day greeting on the inside. I did a James Bond kind of suit with the very vanilla and the white, and just a touch of red and a little bit of black for the bow tie. Birthday on that one. I did one similar to what Lillian showed, only I used different designer paper, and I used the rhinestone for the tie tack. Like the fold on that one too. I did a very dressy suit with the red velvet when we still had it at Christmas, because we were allowed to buy this set early as demonstrators, so therefore I tried it. And I don't know if I can make it so you can see. Can you see the shine on this tie is done by adding packing tape over the cardstock before I cut it out. And just regular, there you can see it. Just the regular packing tape that I use for mailing all of my packages and whatever out, and I thought it turned out really well. Another one done with different colors, but similar to the one I did today. And last but not least is my feminine one. So this one is using the designer paper from Celebration, the subtle embossing folder, a little bit of ribbon, just tucked as a hanky in the pocket. You'll notice the pocket has the stitching around it. I've done the little buttons there just on the front. And like I say, the one that I want to do for, and there, use some more of the designer paper on the inside. Maybe some of you have seen this die. I haven't used it a lot, but this is the die that was used in the one that I want to do for that birthday card that I've been commissioned to do. So in her favorite color, whatever that's going to be. So just wanted to share those with you. Hopefully that gives you some insight as to what you can do with this stamp set and bundle. I really enjoy using it, and keep watching. I'll have a lot more of those to show you in the future. Thanks. We'll next, I believe, is secret stamping, and I'm not going to give you a time because last time I gave you the wrong time. So just check the schedule. And the tutorial for this will post at 12:45 along with the challenge graphics so that you can post your challenge cards, and then we will do some secret stamping after we have a bite of lunch. Thank you. See you soon.